It never ends well. It just never really works out the way you expect it. No matter what they may tell you, whatever friends or family may say about how this time will be different, it always usually 9 times out of 10 is going to end up with pain and anger and the end of a relationship, the loss of a friend, family member, that, all over something so simple, so easy. But I've mentioned this to you guys before, and I think it's becoming more and more important, especially as I see other channels and other content creators discuss the same topics. And you cannot lend money. You cannot lend money to family. You can't lend money to friends. It is a bad idea. But I do think that it's going to start happening, at least the conversation, the discussion, the question is going to be asked more and more as like every day we get closer to higher inflation, higher prices, higher rent, higher utilities. And we got a little bit of a pullback on gas and diesel, but that'll probably be going back up soon. We're seeing the housing market take a dip, and the mortgage companies are getting a little bit worried. And at least I think they're getting a little bit worried, and they're starting to lower their rates, despite the Fed and Jerome Powell increasing the interest rates, continuously increasing the rates to fight inflation. I think we're going to end up with some record high, like lifetime record setting high inflation, lifetime record setting high interest rates. And we're still going to have more inflation. We're still going to have shortages. We're still going to have people struggling. And then we're going to have a recession and a total market collapse while prices continue to climb and money becomes more expensive and more difficult to borrow. And and we're seeing it in the housing market. The housing bubble is deflating. It hasn't popped yet, but it's deflating. And I can tell you that from firsthand experience, as we spoke to two different real estate agents yesterday here, and what they had to say about these homes that they're trying to sell that they can't sell. Prices coming, price reductions, huge price cuts and reductions after hundreds of days on the market, and some of which having renovations made to them to even further entice the sale on some waterfront property too. Which part of that problem could be the fact that waterfront property is like extremely risky right now, especially with Florida insurance companies and FEMA ultimately revamping the flood insurance sector after we just saw, floods in eastern Kentucky and different parts of, I think it's St. Louis. And so we're seeing that. But regardless, it comes down to the money. And it comes down to the people, and it comes down to our economy, and the simple fact that our economy is going in a direction, is going in a way that people are going to be struggling more and more, and they're going to need money and or want money. Because there's a big difference between needing money and wanting money. And for some people, they mismanage, they poorly manage their money, and or they just have bad spending habits or whatever. And then things happen, or they want to do things, or they see their friends doing stuff, or they see TV and social media and the Kardashians doing stuff, and they want to do it too. So they want money. But then you have on the other side, you got people who bust their butt all day in and day out, work hard, more than one job, trying to get by, and they don't really have too much help, really, and they just need money. Like they're already living paycheck to paycheck, and then their rent goes up, and then their food costs go up. Like everybody's food costs go up. Their pay hasn't increased. Unless they work for some employers, because I'm actually hearing some rumblings from a few employers. One of them was a grocery store, and I don't remember if it was Aldi or if it was Lidl, and they were giving their employees a 9% raise. And that was a smart move, I think. 9% raise. And what, 9% theoretically, it's higher than inflation. So it's not like they really gave them a raise, but at least they're not continuously holding them down by trying to increase their income by 9%. But and then I think Lowe's is giving out bonuses. So there are a few out there that are making smart moves to retain employees, and I think that these moves are smart for the fact that when shit really does hit the fan, the employers that treated their employees the best are going to be in the best position to capitalize on the recovery. I think that, but we'll talk about that in another video. It still comes down to a majority of folks are going to need money. And then there's going to be some people out there that just want money, and technology is advancing. And we have these platforms available to reach more people faster than ever before, all across the world. And part of that allows some people to take advantage of the tools that are available that can be very helpful and very useful, much like the topics that we discuss here to keep you guys in the know, keep you educated, and teach you how to better prepare, how to make more money, how to manage your budget, how to try to navigate and survive this economy. And but then you got others out there that they just use it to take your money. And I'm not here to take your money. So, if you guys want to join the group, that's fine. But if you don't, it's cool too. No pressure. It's purely there just so that I can bring you guys a more personal means of communication and ways of getting to me and the information that I want to share that YouTube doesn't always push out there. So that's pretty much it. Now, with that being said, there seems to be, and we kind of talked about this on a live stream the other day, a young lady running around YouTube. And to me, at first glance, it seemed like in the beginning, if anything, I would say she needed money. But I wouldn't even say she needed money because I never bought the story to begin with. If anything, I gave her the benefit of the doubt that she was in fact homeless, and she lived in a car, and that was pretty much it. Like, I gave her that, but I never thinking she needed money. She had a car. I think she mentioned she was employed. She had a job, and so that's that. Well, anyway, somehow this channel was like served to me because that's what it was. Michelle and I, preparing for survival, we were looking up information on homelessness because Michelle is continuously trying to, especially after seeing so much homelessness traveling on the West Coast this summer, and she's just trying to help as best she can with homelessness and clothing and donations and things like that, which is not easy to do. It's not. It really isn't. You'd think it's easy, but it's not. So I think that's why YouTube ended up showing this to me. So anyway, you see this homeless girl living in a car. So you watched it because it was recommended. And then we start to see, like, we noticed like there was some inconsistencies in her story. And we noticed that as content creators, we noticed some of the little things that she might have been possibly doing intentionally to gain people's attention and try to grow her presence, grow her channel, gain more subscribers, get more views. And then shortly after, we noticed that like one of her videos had like 1 million views. Like this video, she just started the channel. The video was up for like 2 weeks and it almost had 1 million views. So it's like, that's pretty impressive. Like, I don't care who you are and what you're doing. If you got a brand new channel and you put up a video that's 2 weeks old and it's hitting 1 million views, you're going to pay attention. Like, what is going on here? Anyway, then with that, we see that her subs are jumping up tens of thousands of subs overnight. Long story short, there's been some developments coming out about this person on YouTube. And I don't say the name because I don't want to like help this person's channel grow. I only want to share this information with you guys to help you understand and know what's out there and be better prepared, because you may not have come across it because YouTube recommended it to me. YouTube may not recommend it to you. But if YouTube does recommend it to you and you don't look at it the way I looked at it and the way a lot of other people looked at it, then you may end up being hurt and losing some money because of this. But it's not just her and this channel. This is going to fall into the category of people that you shouldn't lend money to. You shouldn't give money to, because times are tough and they're going to get tougher. And despite honestly what most people's sob story may be, unless you just have a boatload of money, a boatload of cash, unless you're just flush with cash from stimulus checks, like Mitch McConnell would say, and you don't want to go to work, I wouldn't be giving away my money to anybody, especially somebody I don't know, who just popped up on YouTube. Like, there's no way. But regardless, it happened. And apparently, she's taking donations, and she started a Cash App to be able to accept this money. She's probably in the YouTube partner program, so she's getting ad revenue on the videos she's posting and the millions of views that she's gaining in a short amount of time. But the other thing is, she even started a Patreon, and the Patreon's got like 28 members so far, and she's making over $900 a month on this Patreon, and she provides zero content, no added value whatsoever, nothing. She's just collecting money, and she's captured a lot of attention because of what she's doing, the things she's saying, what she's showing, by being homeless and somewhat of a charity case in the beginning. Although I don't know if she ever really said that. I think people just kind of assumed that based on her story and how she would talk to people, like, oh, woe is me. So anyway, I think that's how like the people just took it, and then they started sending donations, and or at least she says they did. I don't know, but she says they did, and then she goes from living in a car, being an introvert, living in a car, invisible girl, nobody knows, which a lot of people say, oh my God, she's beautiful, she's so pretty, like she's a good looking girl, like how could this be? It's because it was a scam to begin with. At least I think it was, but I don't even know if I call it a scam. It's just like a front. Let's just say it's a front, okay? And so these people ended up, according to her, sending her money, and then you can see some of this is on Patreon. It shows the money, and she's shopping for Mercedes vans now, trying to get out of her car. She's in Beverly Hills, walking on the Hollywood stars. It's like, may not be so bad, but the point I'm trying to make to you guys is, don't give her any money, okay? And it's not just her; it's the royal her. And I don't want to like anger anybody. I don't want to piss any females off. But I do think that women probably have a much easier opportunity to use situations like this to their advantage, to take advantage of other people's generosity to help in what would seem like a needy situation. So, I'm just putting this out there now. If it's friends or family coming to you and saying, "Hey, we need money," I would probably take some serious consideration on what you want to do with that, because the hardest thing to do is going to be to manage that situation in that relationship after the money exchanges hands, unless you just give it to them, maybe. But then the second hardest thing to do would be to manage it once you tell them no. But if you tell them yes and you give them money, and even if you give it to them, and they say that they need it to pay rent, to buy groceries, to get caught up or something, the moment you see them stray and go back to any sort of form of wasteful spending without even offering, even though you say, "Hey, here, have it, take it, keep it, it's yours, do not worry about paying it back," and they don't even offer, you're gonna feel some kind of way, like you just are, and it's just gonna change the dynamic. It just will. So I would say I would stay away from it. That's just me. I'm not giving you advice. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. But when we look at channels on YouTube, especially the one that, has been growing in popularity here recently, which a recent video came out that ties her, that actually shows her real name, because she's been lying to people all along about her name. And someone found her real name from some previous arrest records in another state. I think it was Arkansas. So they found her real name from some previous arrest records. So she made a video and was like, "Oh well, this is why I changed my name." I didn't watch the whole video, but somebody told me that she made a video explaining why she changed her name. So she's got to make all these explanations after the fact just to like kind of prove who she is. I guess it's kind of weird, but so then after that, she the video goes on to connect her and an ex-boyfriend and a little bit of Facebook stalking, which look, whoever did this research, y'all are missing your calling somewhere where you could probably be making a lot of money doing some forensic tracking or something, because they found a lot of dirt. They found a lot of dirt. So anyway, they linked it to this Facebook ex-boyfriend, linked that to a girlfriend, a new girlfriend of this ex-boyfriend that has a YouTube presence. That YouTube presence would be highly likely to be able to probably know the algorithm and produce a channel capable of growing very rapidly. For instance, let's think about it like this. If you guys ever heard of Meet Kevin, he's on YouTube and he's grown his channel tremendously. Graham Stephan, another one, grown his channel tremendously. One of which you may know or at least have heard of, I think everybody's heard of, is Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast is like a phenom. And if Mr. Beast were to connect with someone, he could probably get them on the path to blowing up a channel overnight, just because he knows it so well. You see what I'm saying? So they're making some suggestions that maybe there's a tie, and that this was a bigger plan than anyone could have ever imagined, and that this front was really just a story to pull people's heartstrings and get this money out of them. But I do think that whether it's on YouTube or any other platform, there's a possibility that the economy is going to push people in a position and in a direction where they need help financially. And honestly, I think the best help that you give most people financially is maybe like some tough love and a hard lesson, but also direction on a path on how to be better financially, especially with unknowns and uncertainties in the economy and inflation and things like that. And and teach people how to begin to budget correctly and spend properly and wisely and responsibly, and not need to go to someone else for money or go get a loan or pawn anything or anything like that. Pawn shops said that they are seeing an increase in people coming in to pawn things because they need money. So it's sad that we are in this state that we're in, but regardless, at the end of the day, I do think that we're going to see an increase in the amount of people coming out asking. So, granted, you're not loaning money to people online. You're more than likely just giving it to them, unless it's like some cryptocurrency platform like Celsius. I think it was Celsius. Maybe it was the other one. I can't remember. But basically, it's one of these cryptocurrency platforms, these wallets that ultimately took all the funds and has claimed bankruptcy. I talked about it in a previous video. I can't remember. There's so many of them going under. And I'm going to start classifying these with NFTs, non-fungible tokens, as just bad investment choices. But not investment advice, not financial advice, just an opinion. But if you put money into these platforms, then if you read the fine print, they were basically loans. They weren't safe. You were ultimately loaning money to the platform with no collateral. And most people didn't know that. They didn't read the whole fine print. It's like 1,000,000 pages in .4 font. Nobody's reading that. They just hear, "Oh, Bitcoin's going to the moon. I want a piece of that action," So, but online, you're not loaning people money. You're just going to give it to them. You're going to donate it to them through Cash App, Patreon, whatever platform they want to use. And I do think that we're going to probably see more of this coming faster and sooner as people learn from this particular channel and what happened and evolve from it to be better and to trick more people. And think about it, like if you are, this person went the route of being homeless, single, female, solo woman, homeless, living in my car. I'm in California. Why is everybody who needs so much help in California? Why is everybody who needs so much help in the most expensive state in the country leave California? Anyway, so they go this route, but imagine they could go the route of, hey, I'm trying to prep, I'm trying to prepare, I'm trying to, get ready, yada yada yada, and here's my sob story. Just be careful, be wary, of these people, and what you want to do with your money, and if you want to give it to them, because at the end of the day, much like you trying to help a friend who asks to borrow, who asks for a loan, who asks just for you to give them money, when you see the truth, when you see their real intentions and what they're actually doing, then it may anger you and you'll feel upset, feel like you got taken, and it'll ultimately change the whole dynamic of the relationship. And I think that's happening with this lady on this other channel, and the fact that her subscriber growth has slowed, her views have slowed, and now there's more and more coming out and more evidence coming out to show who she really is or who she could be, because it's all a mystery since she's provided so much false information or misleading information to begin with, that everyone who was trying to help her or thought that they were doing a good thing or donating and this, that, and the other, they're probably feeling upset about it now because they realize that they were lied to, basically. I think there was one, and I'll leave you guys with this. I think there was one, and it mentioned she was telling a little background story about how she grew up in her family and how her dad mistreated her and her grandmother hated her and things like that. And one of these people found up some information, like an obituary from her dad, and was like, this does not sound like the type of guy that would, like, just based on her story, treat her like this. I don't know these people. I don't even know if this is true. I think it's crazy that all this information is flying around like this, and people are using these platforms in different ways to scam people. But I kind of saw it coming. I mentioned it to you guys before. I thought that people were going to be out there trying to take advantage of elderly people and seniors nearing retirement as their investment portfolios, their 401ks, typical means of growing wealth and building passive income streams for retirement, were getting attacked. I thought that was where we were going to see a majority of the scammers. For lack of better words, I have to call them scammers because I think in that sense they would have just been scammers out there trying to get them, and they're in the comments too. So you guys be careful. You see a comment below and it says WhatsApp. It says WhatsApp with a little TV screen, maybe. It's got a phone number, and it looks like me in the little circle pointing like, let's talk, or let's. That is not me, okay? It's not me. Trust me. I don't know what my little person looks like. I think my person has something like next to the circle or something, so it's me. But the little WhatsApp guy, they just copy my picture and they pretend to be me. And then more than likely, if you hit them up on WhatsApp, they're going to try to probably get some money out of you or something. I don't even know what happens. So don't do it. And yes, I try to get rid of them. I try to block them. I try to filter them out as much as I can, but they just keep coming back. These bots are like relentless. But ultimately, there's people out there that are building out technology and automation to attack people that are vulnerable. And I'm just trying to tell you guys, I'm trying to share this information with you so that you can be more aware of what's going on and not get caught up in the scam and not lose any money. Because now is the worst time that you want to lose money. Trust me. Now is not time you want to lose money. Now is time you want to be saving money, making money, and preparing yourselves for an ultimate recession, a deep recession, a depression, a market collapse. Avoid bank runs. So make sure you got cash, and you're going to want to to be in a position to sustain some high levels of inflation, but also be in a position to be ready to recover. Because when it drops, when it hits the bottom, when we do hit the bottom, when the bubble bursts, because the bubble's deflating right now, and I'm talking about real estate, but regardless, we're going to see it, and there's going to be some great opportunities that are going to be coming around. And if you got the money, you're going to be able to jump on them and capitalize on them. So now is not the time that you want to be losing money. It's too expensive right now to be losing money. So I just want to put that out there. And if you guys have anything to add to that for anybody below, feel free to jump in the comments. I would appreciate it. Try not to mention the person that I was talking about. If you know who I'm talking about, try not to mention their name in the comments, because I'm not trying to promote them and highlight them and bring more people to them. I just want everybody to understand and be aware of what's going on out there, and be mindful of the people coming to you, essentially asking for money. She may not have necessarily, because I don't know this for sure because I haven't watched all the videos, but she may not have necessarily just come out and asked for money, but it was kind of implied. And she created methods for people to send the money, methods and ways for her to receive the money. So I'm not saying that she asked for it, but she damn sure didn't try to stop people from sending it. And then I think I saw something on the computer, and it said, "I will refund all these donations," which I think there's some admission of guilt there when you come out and say something like that. There's some videos posted about my real name. Am I being fake? Am I fake homeless? Am I fakety fake or something like that? And these are all red signs. And I want you guys to notice the red signs, avoid them, and do all you can to put yourselves and your families in better positions to be able to grow your incomes respectfully, and not steal money, basically, or scam people out of their money. Yeah, I want you guys to be able to build sustainable businesses, small businesses, side hustles, and passive income streams that'll last you, for as long as you want to do it, and then help you position you for more, because you have built these building blocks and built this foundation. You have this retained earnings and available cash flow and ability to build out more businesses. Because honestly, look at the big businesses out there, successful, respectable businesses out there. They're not scamming people, not like that. Granted, we're going to talk about this in another video. We got Evergrande out in China. Granted, we're not in China, but they are running a serious little scam over there. Big business running a big scam, little Ponzi scheme they got going on. But they're like the exception to the rule. Like Lehman Brothers, there's a few out there, Enron, there's a few out there that they do get away with it. But for the most part, not all companies are like that. But just like them, just like those examples that I mentioned, the ones that we're seeing right now collapsing, the cryptocurrency wallets, basically stealing people's money, even though that there were businesses before them that did shady business practices and got caught and got busted and got, bad things happened to them. Guess what? More businesses did it again to more people who weren't paying attention, and they try to do it different, and they try to do it better to trick more people. So don't think that there's folks out there that aren't going to take the situation and learn from the situation, like this lady here, and then try to redo it again in the future, a different way, a theoretically better way to scam more people. It will happen. People are not going to stop trying, like I do, and not going to stop trying to do better and to try to grow and improve and help people. And there's also the other side of that coin. There's people out there who aren't going to stop trying to scam people and trick people and take their money and do that. It's just not going to end. It's not going to happen. So you got to be smart. You got to be aware. I want you guys to do that. I know you guys are smart. I know you're intelligent. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching. And I want to see you all do well. I don't want to see you get hurt. So be careful who you give your money to. Don't lend money to friends. Don't lend money to family. maybe just give it to them if you need to, but that's just my take. It's not financial advice. It's not investment advice. It's just me talking to you guys as friends and family. You guys take care. Be safe. I'll see you real soon.